I think we're live.
Hey, party people. What's going on, Christina? How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you, Brian?
I'm good. For those of you who are just tuning in for the very first time and you've never done a LinkedIn Unlocked with us, I'm Brian Fink. This is Christina Mosheri, and we are here to make sure that your content, that your personal brand, that your image, your everything on LinkedIn is exactly that it's everything, and that we take you to the next level. So
so sorry to interrupt. I like to call it like professional appeal.
Okay, I love it. Professional appeal, instead of saying you're everything, right?
Exposure, connectability. We want to make sure that you're getting the most out of the platform, and we're here to help use our voices to lift you guys up and bring you with us on the ride, because I think LinkedIn is growing this year. I think I have to take my answer back from our prediction.
Our prediction show. Yeah. So look, I think LinkedIn is growing. I also think one of the areas it's growing in concert with LinkedIn is Substack, but maybe we can talk about that on another conversation. We can dive deeper into that as people want to, like we talked about, raise their voices and to be part of the conversation. So about being part of the conversation, Christina, I do want to catch up with you. You rocked this last week when I was at SourceCon. You flew solo.
Thank you very much. So for everybody that joined, thank you so much for hanging in there with me. I was visibly nervous because it was my first time doing it alone, and I had a slide, my slides. I just wasn't experienced in making sure that would go through well, and it ended up being a huge experience, like learning experience for me, because it gave me that oomph, like maybe I can educate, and it's what we've been doing this whole time. But sometimes I think, we need our people, our mentor, our communities to lift us up, but also there's value in having to figure it out on your own.
There's a lot of value in having to figure it out on your own, but you talk about that community. And one of the things that we're both passionate about is delivering for the community, whether you're a first connection on LinkedIn, whether you're a second, a third, just tuning in for the first time. We want to make sure that we help you to go, if you will, that we're really helping you to go nuclear here, right? So about going nuclear, Christina, I want to dig deeper on this, because you talked about doing things for the first time. Is that I know a lot of people that I speak to are afraid to post on LinkedIn, that they're afraid to put a picture. They're afraid to put. Yeah. What's going on with that? What's your takeaway there?
I can't relate now, but
you over communicate, right? Yeah.
Now I'm like, everything is content to me. And, I'm always saying, like, if you're speaking at a conference and you don't have it being recorded, and now like recorded in vertical so that we can cut it into shorts and reels, like everything is advancing. And I think you're doing yourself a disservice in this market if you're not putting effort into your personal professional brand. And I said this on last week's episode, I will keep sending Gary V podcast news update, everyone. We are now on Spotify podcasts, so go follow us. I'm still uploading our videos, but we are growing, and I love that we're growing together and you guys get to watch it live, because this is part of the goal for this. And doing things on your own and figuring them out while you, like, what do they say? Building the plane while you're taking off.
So building the plane while it's in flight, repairing the race car as it's going down the field. I like to think it's important that people build in public, right? Is that
Absolutely.
you shine through your failures and your successes, that you come alive through each of those interactions. And what you can learn from on your own is great, but what you can learn from as a community, it gives you the velocity to move like that rocket that I talked about in the opening when I was getting rid of some of my jitters. About the jitters, we've got about 26 people on the live stream right now. If you would drop us a hell yeah or a shout out, go ahead and
Where you're from.
yeah, let us know where you're from, because we are, we're excited to have a big audience that's only getting bigger, and we want to make sure that everybody networks both horizontally and vertically. When I say horizontally, maybe that drifts us into our topic for today, Christina, is that there's building the brand on LinkedIn, and one of the things that I think people are missing out on are the comments that they can be making in people that are, if you will,
I think I know where you're going with this.
Where am I going? Tell the people.
Well, I think you're going where, you attend webinars and lives like this, and you get the opportunity to learn from people who have diverse perspectives on things that you're interested in. And there's a chat box full of people. And what I've done to grow, not that I have like I think it's like just under 12,000, but what I've done over the past year and a half growing and just outwardly pushing myself out there is I have attended webinars, I have attended virtual conferences, and I never fails me. I put my LinkedIn URL in the comments. And even when I speak, when I don't speak, I have been able to build more connections with people that are interested in the same things that I am, because they're attending the same things as me. That's what I thought you were saying.
Oh no. So actually I was going to go down the rabbit hole. So real quick, guys and gals, everybody included, Christina and I have had a conversation offline about the viability of hashtags on LinkedIn, whether they're a thing or not. And so I like to,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so no, it's all good. So real quick, Christina thinks that hashtags are not a thing. I think they are a thing. I think that what you've got to do is you've got to use hashtags, not just so your content is found, but so that you find other content of other individuals who are doing or striving to make the same difference in the space that you're striving to make a difference in. And so that you can comment on theirs, or you can have an adverse opinion. You can stir up the dirt and get in there deep. And I think hashtags are the ways that you leverage your fun. Cut it out. All right, I'm cutting it out.
I just don't understand why they, a few episodes ago, I was advising as an enthusiast, because I am in no way an expert, but as a LinkedIn enthusiast, I was giving my own personal advice suggestion for the 5 hashtags underneath the header. And now that's gone.
Oh, you're talking about on the profile.
Yeah, so that's gone. And I don't know about you, but I mean, I could probably throw up my analytics, and the ones that have hashtags relevant, they don't do any better than the ones that have no hashtags, or if it's only 1 or 2, I think that's the exception with the book post.
No. Let's pull this apart. Like, I didn't think this was going to be a thing, but like, if you look at the top 10 hashtags that are on LinkedIn, and this is information from Sendable, we'll make sure that we include the link in the show notes, is that the top trending hashtags in 2024 are innovation, management, digital marketing, technology, creativity, futurism, startups, and marketing. Things like open to work are not even making a dent. We're looking at innovation have 38 million followers of that hashtag. I think it's making sure that the hashtag that's being used, in fact, is
You just
it's not,
schooled me. Boom.
dude,
Like,
it's not about, look, you told me to come correct today to talk about this. I can correct people is it's not about loading your post with hashtags, right? You don't want to spam your posts and articles with hashtags. You want to use a mix of niche and popular hashtags to balance out what you're saying, to balance your reach, and to make sure that you're targeting that engagement. Um, you know, are they still relevant? Well, yeah, they're still relevant because they're available in the search field inside of free LinkedIn. We should be using 3 to 5 per post, just like we were talking about using those 5 hashtags that used to appear on a profile but have gone away. Unless you have a personal hashtag that you want to push, then a strategy is just to use one for more impact. Shout out to my brother from another mother, Adam Posner. Adam uses the podcast hashtag to make sure that people find his post instantly in a refined capacity. I think that's a way that you can go on that. You can still follow hashtags on LinkedIn. That is from LinkedIn.com, that blog. It'll simplify the process for users to really be able to go in and find the interested or specific topics that they use to engage with their posts. Again, those I listed out those 8 to 10 hashtags that are really trending on LinkedIn that have that data behind them, so that you know that your content's being found or followed by 38 million people.
I like that. And I like the growing the one. I think for employer branding or personal branding or creator branding, every influencer I know has their own hashtag. Like, that's why I just made that banner, because something we got to do now.
Bam, right? So about
Right.
that, you talk about branding, right? And I think that a friend of the program that we should probably get on in the future, and James Ellis, if you're listening, you're that friend of the program that I think we should get on in the future to have a conversation about brand and about personal brand and about employer brand and EVP. Those are, I'd say that half of our audience are recruiters. The other half of the audience are salespeople and marketing professionals that want to grow their brand, want to grow their influence. Yeah, so that's where I'm going with that.
Yeah, I think if James Ellis is on here, we'll take you.
James Ellis, we're going to tag you in the show notes, because James Ellis is the employer brand nerd. He's a great guy, excellent content, has worked for some really remarkable organizations in terms of their employer branding to elevate the conversation and to insulate those brands from negative connotations. James Ellis, are you there? James Ellis, paging James Ellis, are you there? I don't know. All right. So we'll talk to James in the future about the convergence of employer brand, EVPs, that's your employer value proposition, and your personal brand and how that can work out. But back to this conversation about hashtags, Christina, I kick it back to you. Maybe too many hashtags are just spam, right? Like,
you're trying to reach too many niches, is what I think. And
okay, all right. So I hear you.
Hashtags on LinkedIn, I am not confident with. I am A/B testing them. I hope you guys are connected with me on LinkedIn, Christina Mosheri. If you're not, connect with me. I have a lot of written and video content, and we foresee growth in video content. So I think hashtags are being played with right now on LinkedIn. So I don't know. And that's me and my deep diving into LinkedIn is something I thoroughly enjoy. And that's kind of how the vision of LinkedIn Unlocked started. So last week we talked about getting a Top Voices banner. We talked about
you got to do that,
setting up your profile for maximum exposure to target audiences. What else did we do? We did collaborative. I unpacked collaborative articles and advised.
Yeah, you did a great job with that.
you know, it's the tea that everybody has been gatekeeping that you opened up to me and I wanted to pay forward. So I think that, you know, if we're all learning, we can be learning, we can all win. And that's, you know, what this is for. There's no reason that we should have this knowledge and not give it to you all. So
I agree with Christina. I'm all about that theory of abundance and putting that out there. You know, Christina, you do bring up something important, and then I want to move on to another topic. I know it's just me. I'm the purple squirrel just running through things today, right?
Go ahead. It's usually me.
Christina, it's all good. It's all good, right? So as we're talking about hashtags and we're talking about relevancy of content and spamming, there's this idea of going one to many, right? Of trying to make maximum impact and affect as many people as possible. I'm wondering, should we be going for minimum impact, i.e., just trying to affect change or conversation instead of with like 30,000 people? Like, okay, so I've got 40,000 connects or 40,000 followers, 30,000 connects. Instead of trying to talk to all 30,000, Christina, are you suggesting that I should really just be looking at my top 100, my top 1,000, nurturing the relationship with that and making it more personal? What's your take on this?
Well, my take comes from a point of view where I've never had 40 connections, so I don't know what that feels like. But I will say, I think that when you have I know how to nurture the audience that I have at my size. And it's pretty difficult, but I would like to think that I do a pretty good job. Unless you're trying to sell me a franchise, I won't answer you.
Yeah, we are not here to sell you a franchise. Nobody. We hope that this does not find you well.
Yeah, and don't pitch me a job that has no base pay and is commission only. Those are the two things I usually don't respond to. Just or I auto say like respectfully no. But I do a pretty good now. If I was to grow to 40K, I would definitely need a virtual assistant. I would definitely need a strategy or because let's just break it down from a personal branding perspective. My personal LinkedIn profile, my personal Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, I believe that we're transitioning into a social media promoting work environment. So,
go ahead, finish. I didn't mean.
Gone are the days of hiding who you are on social media. And, you know, right now I'm working on finding a professional blend because kind of my personal brand is that I'm not the spokesperson for professional behavior. I tend to like go with the blurs and the gray areas. But I think that having multi-channel is the way to go.
What is multi-channel? Just for those people who don't know what that is.
So I gave it from a personal. So let me do it from an employer branding. So LinkedIn Unlocked is our live stream, and we have created a page for it, which if you go on LinkedIn and look up LinkedIn Unlocked on the pages, if you follow us, once we get 150 followers, we'll be able to stream from there. So we would really appreciate anyone to follow.
Need your help.
Yeah,
that's the ask today.
Yeah, our ask is that you follow us on our LinkedIn. We newly created a page. So there's pages and then there's companies. So there's a lot of changes going on. I unpacked this last week. I have so much more, and I'm going on a rant that, you know, let me just shift Z here. Sorry, we talked about video beta last week. I learned not everybody had access to that. And I have more information that at this point in time, I am not, it's not in my best interest to share. But
Okay, so let's hold on. Wait a minute. You teased
I know.
the people. It's like you showed them cake. You said it was chocolate cake with white icing, and then you said, by the way, there is no cake. All right. So look, Christina, you can't do it, but I'm going to be naughty. I'm going to be disrespectful. I say there are 4 key elements to being a great recruiter. You got to be curious. You got to ask questions. You got to be empathetic. You've got to feel for other people. You've got to be tenacious. Go out there things with a hell yeah. And you got to be a little mischievous, right? So maybe I'm channeling a little of that mischievousness.
Go ahead, go for it.
So LinkedIn, it was reported on CNN, it was reported on Bloomberg, it was reported on Reuters that they are testing a new video feature for influencer marketing, right? So this is an instance where there's going to be new videos, not just your video that you have for LinkedIn Learning, but the video that you can have in a video tab. So if you don't want to digest, if you want to digest simply video content as opposed to written content or meme content, you can go there. You can go the distance, right? So this is something new that's coming down the pipe with LinkedIn. It is in a beta feature. One person on this call, not 2, but 1, who is not talking about things, may or may not be in the done. Anyhow, so we've got that pushed out of the way. Christina, did I get anybody in trouble? Was I too mischievous?
No, but if you're going to drop the bomb, baby, I might as well just. So anyone who attended last week's live, drop a comment in the chat saying anything. Just let me know that you were there last week. But my ADHD just kicked in. Where was I going with that, Brian?
Video influencer marketing and how to go viral, or yeah.
Okay, I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off. Okay, so last week I gave the tip about collaborative articles, and then once you start doing them, LinkedIn will email you with LinkedIn expert answers, which I told you to search in your Gmail or whatever your email is attached to your LinkedIn profile. From there, LinkedIn will tell you, answer this expert. We'd like your expert answer on this question. It's telling you what it wants you to do. So go do it. Well, after I got off live, I was energized by just all of the interaction that we had unpacking all of that information. And I found out that I was in the wrong and I should not have ever brought up video beta because I was asked not to in an email that I did not see in time. So
okay,
I was like,
so real quick, no harm, no foul. But these conversations about video are taking place on the Hootsuite blog. They're taking place on the LinkedIn blog about thinking out of the box when it comes to adding value and how to create and craft these videos. Christina, I got to tell you, I'm not giving you a pass. I'm the one that's mischievous here today. I think the cat's already out of the bag. I think people like Joel are having a conversation about this at scale. If you didn't, so we're referring to our friend Joel Lalji, who yesterday had a conversation about AI on.
I think he's live on audio right now too, but don't leave us for him.
Don't you have? I'm never going to give you up. I'm never going to let you down.
We promote our friends, but don't leave us for him.
Yeah, don't leave us, right? So as we talk about that essence of video, that comes back to really maybe how LinkedIn is tiptoed into the water to make sure that it's a safe place. One of the ways that you're going to get the most information about LinkedIn is if you're like Christina and I, and you go to the LinkedIn blog, right? If you go over to the engineering blog and take a look at that, the engineering blog is going to cover everything from patents that have been filed. There's even a website called Microsoft.com. Just throwing it out there. And LinkedIn is owned by Microsoft. And if you go to Microsoft's website and you say you want to learn LinkedIn, it will give you all the advanced operators that work in free LinkedIn. Okay, just just dropping that out there, little gem for you to go, for everybody to go do a little bit of research. Actually, Christina, I don't know what we've got coming up in the next couple of, I do know what we got coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we
That
got
was a
pack.
bold-faced lie, people. We've got a lot of things that are packed for you at Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. We've got a lot of great co-hosts and speakers that are coming up. They're going to be part of this. But one of the things that Christina and I are putting together is we are going to do a LinkedIn Live on how you can use free LinkedIn to find everyone that you want to connect with at scale. We're still working on the date. We're still isolating it out. We're still kind of in the planning stages. We want to make sure that we've got everything together. But if you attended Benjamin Mena's recruiter kickoff for 2024, we're looking at doing something like that, but taking it to the next level. So taking it a little bit higher. If you know Bullion, shout out to Ben. If you're not listening to the Elite Recruiter podcast, you're missing out. You need to put that on your ears and go, go, go.
Yeah, if you go to LinkedIn Unlocked on Spotify, we recommend Ben. The Elite Recruiter podcast is one of our recommended podcasts. So there's a double win there.
It's a double win. So real quick, just to do a quick recap for everybody who's with us, we've talked about the importance of branding on LinkedIn. We've talked about engagement on using video and how that can be responsive to you. But what we haven't talked about, and Christina dropped a little bit of it last week, she peppered it in. She talked about company pages and about some of the features that are coming to company pages where you can actually connect with the brand, right?
I did.
Yeah, so this is an important piece of it. And what you have to know is you got to know when the difference is to use a LinkedIn profile versus a LinkedIn page. I would recommend everybody, if you are working for an organization or a company, you want to be affiliated with a page so that you get that verified check mark in the top of it. You want to make sure that you've got the right logo, so to speak, affiliated with that page. If you're an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, you need to build your own LinkedIn page so you can get that verification check mark next to your name. It doesn't just come with a vanity URL, or it doesn't just come with verifying your information, or alternatively verifying your information via US passport. So there's some pieces of the puzzle that are there for you. But Christina,
company page?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, also while building pages, you need a company page with a company number in order to create a page. So you need a company with an actual entity, made in the United States of America or whatever country you're in. So you need whatever that documentation is required for your company. And then you can have a bunch of pages that fall under that company. So
and about falling under that company, one of the things that Christina touched on last week, and I want to make sure that we iterate this, that we put this in bold font, is that pages are public, and while they're used primarily by businesses and individuals are private and primarily used by individuals, each of them have different tools that you can leverage to grow your audience, right? So if you have a LinkedIn profile that could be followed as well, you can have those private conversations and connections with it. But if you're a consultant or you work in direct sales, or if you want to take an individual approach to your business, you're going to want to have a LinkedIn profile that not only capitalizes upon those features, but something that works on those entities to work in tandem with the feature set that you would have on a business page, right? By acting as, even if you're a company of one, you can list yourself as an employee of your business listing by that page. That way you also have a landing page that's good for your personal and for your business's SEO. I'm just putting that out there, Christina. I know you touched on it last week. That's just what I come back to.
You actually maneuvered into a segue that I wanted to go into, which is circling back to content creation. And you had asked me in the beginning about getting over the fear of posting. And I don't have a straight answer for that, because little by little, I started to get more comfortable. And it was because I attended an event and was exposed to people like Brian and others that I had met that, were doing so much content on LinkedIn at that point. This was over a year and a half, maybe close to a year and a half ago.
Close to a year and a half.
And
so
having somebody push you, I'm a pusher. I push people. If you need somebody to push
she's a pusher. Everybody needs a Christina.
Yeah, if you would like to be pushed to post or create content or get out of your own way and just throw it out there, I'm happy to do that for you. It does come with some rejection, some hate, and
comes with a lot of salt and pepper, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Salt and pepper.
A lot, it's like a lot of people think what you're doing is crazy until it's not crazy, and what your dream, you either make your dreams come true or you work for somebody else and make their dreams come true. So this is kind of a little piece of our heaven or our dreams, where I strongly think that everybody invested in growing on LinkedIn should be utilizing LinkedIn Learning and posting, even like
LinkedIn Learning, my favorite free tool that nobody talks about. This is
it's
great.
not free. What are you talking about?
Oh, free is my favorite 4-letter word that begins with an F. Go ahead and get your mind out of the gutter. So when I'm saying LinkedIn Learning is free, if you want a subscription to LinkedIn Learning, it's pay to play all day long. You got to get a subscription.
Oh.
But if I share a class or classes that I've taken, then what they do, and this goes back to the hashtag, what they do is that for the first 24 hours, people can take that class for free. They can take that course for free, right? So just real quick to all my friends who pay for LinkedIn Learning like I do, make sure that you have the hashtag LinkedIn Learning after you've completed a course. Share it to your feed, because then the people who are not paying for LinkedIn Learning can come in and they can ride on your pass, and they can take that class for up to 24 hours for free. It's a LinkedIn hack. We'll drop the link in the show notes. If you grab us over on Spotify, that's going to talk about where you can go in the LinkedIn help section to find out more details about that. Christina, helpful? Did we provide a little bit of value there?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that, LinkedIn Learning, I've had for a few years, and I've used it the most probably this year. And I don't ever foresee myself not having it. Like I like it a lot. And it is one of the apps that they are actually updating. And it's hard for me to sell an audience on the investment of LinkedIn Learning unless they're going to use it on their mobile app, because the mobile app is progressing. The daily tab, like I am making sure it's like my exercise. If you know me, I count my steps. I love to walk and listen to podcasts, and that is one of my passions. And I think, I don't know where I was going with that again, Brian.
No, dude, I know where you're going with that, is that you're talking about the 4 elements that I talk about being a great recruiter, right? You got to be curious, you got to be empathetic, you got to be tenacious, and you got to be mischievous. We told you how to be mischievous, how to get into the library for free. Also, speaking about getting into the library for free, LinkedIn Learning, if you go to a public library and you log into your LinkedIn account through their internet services, you can take LinkedIn Learning for free. So just get a library card, make it happen.
I have a library card. I love the library, so I don't have to pay for it, and I could just go to the library every day.
Yeah, you can. So here, I'm gonna drop the link in the chat.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull
One,
that up.
yeah. And I want to get the link to our Spotify, and I'm still uploading everything to Spotify for podcasters. And you guys know I've said it every episode. We're learning, so things are changing. I don't know if you've noticed, but that logo is a little bit different, and we have more things coming. Written, video, social, and we want to know, like, I know we have some people in the audience. If the fear of posting is something that you feel right now, let me know. Like, let us know in the comments. What question, if you could ask us anything right now, AMA, ask me anything.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, what can we bring to you? Because I can talk about how important it is to create content all day. I can talk about how awesome LinkedIn is all day, but nobody really wants to hear that. They want the answers.
They want the answers, but here's the thing about the answer, Christina. People are looking for people. They do have to ask. People are looking for hacks. This is not a hack game. This is a long game, right?
There is no hack. If there was, we would have taken it. Okay. The only hacks I know are to learn, network, up, down, sideways, network as much as you can.
All right, ask me anything. Floor is open. Yeah. Hit it up. Hit it up. What do we got?
I would love. Let's get some.
We got 37 people in the audience. No pressure. Hell, I might give away a book. Shit, first question gets a book. Fair enough. You like that, Christina?
Which book?
Their choice. They get to choose. They can have the main thing is the main thing, or they can have talk tech to me. Hell, if you're the first question, I might even let you into the doc to see the new book.
If you're the first question, I will give you a profile revamp.
Oh, I like that.
I have to revamp my summary anyways. And that's the thing, we talk about change, and I'm just going to keep talking until we get our first question. So those offerings are still up. Whoever wants to take it, like, what can we help you with in your journey on LinkedIn and other platforms? And until then, I'm just going to keep talking until we get a question.
That's cool. That's cool. Watch this. Check this out. Big long block of answer. Boom, boom. Nobody can read that. It's so small.
Well, we're shifting to a new world.
Let the people know why we're shifting. What are we doing with this content now? We're going to go multi-channel. Is that what you said?
How often should I post, Charles? Round of applause.
Charles. Okay, this is
a great question. Can we put it up?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Charles, thank you so much. We will get the offerings to you. Drop us a DM with your email address so we can schedule that. Let's get to the question. So, how often should you be posting? Brian Christina, and I, so I'm a LinkedIn enthusiast, and I attend a lot of the LinkedIn hosted webinars. I read a lot of their blogs. They say a lot of different things. I love that you answered this, because I don't have a solid answer that I know for sure is 100% true. I wish I did. I have heard from others that have larger followings than I do. They say the first post you make, everything you make after it, like, ruins that post. And so I have been A/B testing how many posts a day for a long time. And I don't know if I believe that I think you should be posting at, like, small incremental daily habit changes. If you post nothing right now, Charles, at all, if you're not posting anything, if you make it a 30-day commitment, what was that?
You're behind the curve if you're not posting anything.
Yeah. If you're posting nothing, let's just hypothetically say you're posting nothing. If you make a 30-day goal to post once a day, to comment on a thread that is relevant to your interests and that has opposing views, and you put your perspective in there once a day, and you personally do a personalized connection request to someone that you want to be connected and learn from, if you do those three things once a day or every day for 30 days, that should give you enough data to let you know if you should be going harder on the posts. Is it the comments? Like that's my, what do you think, Brian?
All right. So first on, I think you need to turn creator mode on so you can get statistics about about what Christina's saying. Creator mode, it's real simple. Does it cost any money? No, it's free. That 4-letter word again. You can turn on creator mode. Creator mode will give you the opportunity to do lives like this, publish a newsletter. There are 2 other things. I can't think of them right now. But what I do know is that it will give you your stats and it will show you what your engagement looks like. But it will not tell you what the best time of day is to post, right? But it will show you what engagement looks like with your posts and with your profile. It will let you know how many people came and visited your profile. It will let you know how many people came and commented on your post, how many eyeballs were on your post. It'll give you those metrics. They're not incredibly robust, but it does give you, like what Christina said, a baseline, an area to A/B test and see how you build your audience over the next 30 days. I encourage you to do those little incremental posts, right? At first, to build up your confidence, right? It's like going to the gym.
Don't overcommit. Like, let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Like small, short-term realistic goals every day that can be turned into habits that you can stick to.
Habits is the key word there, because I was thinking about when you go to the gym and you press, right?
Yeah.
Nobody goes to the gym and picks up a bar and goes, I'm doing 500 pounds. Also, nobody goes to the gym and picks the bar and says, I'm just doing the bar, unless they're there to get their form. You want to get your form. You want to make sure that you know how to extend those arms. That's posting a quote of the day. I saw Christina kind of walk into the water doing that. And then taking opinions or stances about different things. You want to make sure that those quick, bold posts punch that they pack a punch on LinkedIn. I'm not saying that you have to go do long form stories. I'm not saying that you have to do something small or short. What I'm saying is that where a long form can lead to a longer dwelling time on the app, short form also has its place. You don't want to be known as the person who shares a monologue with your network, because your network's not always going to have time to read it. Along the same lines, you don't want to go too short, because if you go too short, you come across as lacking substance, which could make you seem less authoritative as the person who is in your space. You want to vary the length of these posts, as well as adding images and videos. And we've already talked about the importance of video today, right? I will let you know that posts that have pictures, they perform better than posts that don't have pictures, no matter how many hashtags you have. And Christina's going to let you know that those that have videos perform better than ones that just have an image.
So I'm going to go on a tangent here because it's 444 and it feels right. So I got into a little debacle in the comments where, how do I say this?
Tell me more about being curious, mischievous, and empathetic.
I was mischievous. I got blocked. I got blocked. Sorry, I couldn't help it. It was a post from a human that I am connected to, I was connected to, and it was reasons for posting a selfie on LinkedIn. And it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with like blanks. So it was a mischievous, it was a controversial post. They wanted to get traction, right? And I saw in the comments, it was everybody well, oh, what about if I have a dog? And like everybody just egging on this, that selfies are not cool or professional, or actually I got called cringe for posting. And my take on that was, I gave the information that text plus image goes way farther than just text alone. Video plus text is even better. But the really cool thing about a selfie, which you have a profile picture on your profile, having a selfie posted on your LinkedIn feed with some context, some insight, some personal professional connection tells your connections, I'm really alive. And that person you see up there, it's me. I'm here in real life, and I'm checking in with you guys because I value your connection. And so that was my take on it, is that selfies are great. For my highest post ever, I promoted Brian's first book, Talk Tech to Me, and it is me with a little bun on top of my head with a book like this, and it went wild. Okay, I have yet to have anything even reach that peak, so I have the pudding to prove it. That
All right, let's talk about that pudding for a second, because there's something else that I want to come back to. Is we talk about lifting that bar, and we talk about exercising, and we're talking about not going too heavy a lift, right? LinkedIn is one of the platforms that has the longest content lifespan. There are posts that I have that are still getting comments on them. For that reason, you don't need to be around the clock posting, right?
No.
Just pick a time every day, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, where people can expect your content. You feel differently? Awesome.
No. I was originally told, like, you want to do 8:30 or 9 in the morning, and then an afternoon post, and that the best performing day was Thursday. I still think that is, when it comes to in-mail messaging, I think that I get the most responses on Mondays. I do not do any reach outs on Fridays, and I try to push out the most content on my profile on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Wednesdays I dedicate to writing and shooting content. Did you know that?
Okay, so dude, this is really great for us to get into this conversation about content and about when you create that content. Is that one of the things that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that I wake up in the morning and that I post as soon as I wake up in the morning. I post at like 6:30, 7 o'clock, so I can get people when they're fumbling for their phones and they're looking for their first message of the day. That's
They're on TikTok.
No,
sorry.
I want to hear more.
They're not waking up like, oh, let me get to LinkedIn, unless they're me or you. Let's be realistic here. Not everybody wakes up and is like, oh my gosh, LinkedIn, what have I missed? That's just us.
No, I think there are a lot of people that are like us, right? Like,
if I've noticed, let us know.
Yeah, well, like I've noticed like a variable with delivery for my newsletter. Newsletter is a feature that's free in creator mode. Is that if I ship out the newsletter between 7 and 8:30, I have the most opens. But if I do like 9 o'clock or later, it just drifts away. And I do it on Monday, and I'm thinking about testing it on different days of the week with my LinkedIn newsletter.
So I actually got a tidbit about newsletters. I encourage.
I was about to drop 4-letter. Go ahead.
if I don't know what you're, I didn't pick that up, but if you don't have a newsletter, I didn't have a newsletter. I recommend you get a newsletter. I was in a LinkedIn learning course that, like I said, we follow their blogs. There are private groups that only certain people can be invited to. And that comes with growing. And I'm not trying to say, I'm in a cool group, but there are things that I've been able to unlock from all of my deep diving into LinkedIn. I think they know I'm deep diving into them. So now they're deep diving into me. And I got a point here. Again, I'm losing it.
Girl, what's in your Starbies real quick, right? Are you caffeinated? Are you ready to go? Ready to go?
I mean, I think it's all at the bottom, but I had a really good point here.
You were talking about private groups and messaging and
Yeah. So we're telling people to go on these webinars, right? We have access to those webinars through our following those pages. So I just saw it. If you want access to free learning, LinkedIn. So it is free online courses with certificates via LinkedIn. It is a page on LinkedIn called Free Online Courses. You want to follow that, and they will send you their blog posts. And in those, they send you like, you can do this free, a project agility, agile learning and get PCI credits. But you gain access to those free learnings by following the pages, Ryan. So we got to make sure that everybody knows that the pages are flying, and to keep an eye on
right,
skills.
Where do I find the secret pages?
That's a great question. So if
okay, so we got something for next week. Pages.
Yeah, so they're private pages that you get invited to. And like I said, this comes with creating content. If I hadn't put so much focus in the past year and a half on building my efforts and my content and my voice on LinkedIn, I wouldn't know any of this stuff. I wouldn't be able to tell you guys this. So the first step is to get to posting and to get to interacting. And I think a lot of people don't take the time to personally connect with people. Like, I think of Sarah Dasfalt and how I stumbled on her page.
It makes everybody feel like they're $1 million.
Yeah, but I think I'm special.
No. That's what I mean.
I think that there's something in, I always say, look at people's activity. There was a post that she created last year, and I wasn't looking into her. I just stumbled on it, and it struck a chord with me, and because it was about sales and a terrible sales experience where her safety was at risk. She was doing door-to-door sales, and like some guy tried to keep her hostage in the basement. Yeah, it's insane. And I read that post and I was like, so I could not reach out. And I reached out. I requested to connect, and I said, hi, Sarah, I just read your post. I would love to connect with you and talk more. I can't believe that happened to you, but also I have similar stories, and I would just love to get to know you. When you tell somebody you don't know, you reach out as a stranger and you say, I read that. That person is going to want to connect with you. And that's how you build a real connection, in my opinion. So posting and being in the comments is great for exposure, but for growing, your connections, I look at connections as like my clan, my Wu-Tang. Yeah. So you really want to make the most of your connections. And it's not a whole lot of work to do that. I personally enjoy it. And I think that if you're on watching us, you're interested in growing there or think you may enjoy it. So that's my take on that. I don't know what you guys think. If there's any questions, drop them. We want to make
Christina,
sure that
what you said was mic drop. I don't think there's anything else we can talk about. I know we got 5 more minutes. I think that's it. I think that was mic drop. I think that was the soundbite of the afternoon. It took us 55 minutes to get there, but holy shit.
Yeah, we unpacked a lot, and we went and reviewed some learnings from last week. So we can let everyone know our next live is the 25th. It is this time, this day, next week. And we are on a mission to continue that and grow on multi-channels. So we are going to continue to live stream here. And our ultimate rocket to the moon is to flood Spotify, Apple, and bring the knowledge to the masses. So help us get there. Follow us. We appreciate every single one of you who has attended any of our LinkedIn unlocks and engaging in the comments. We are always open to DMs, feedback. I love to hear feedback. I'm a human. You can reach me at any time. I have a cell phone number. It's on my profile. Text me. I'm an open book. If you want advice on your profile, your strategy, anything that you think I might be able to be helpful of, reach out. And I think the same goes for Brian. I think you have office hours available.
Dude, office hours are so backed up coming back from SourceCon. So I don't know what that's going to look like for the next couple of weeks. But, Christina, there's something that is really unique about you and about the community you're fostering. And that's a community that gives and pours out for other people. Thanks for being part of our community. We'll see you on the next show, 4:00 next week. Let's speak. If you need us, DM us. We're here for you. Let's rock.
And if you're posting this week because of tag us in the comments. We want to see your posts. We want to engage with them. So see you next week. And thank you for attending.
Rock on, my friends. Rock on.